It's really enthusiastic YouTube video, super opinionated,
Oh, yeah.
about XRP's price surge. And they make some pretty wild predictions.
Oh, really? Like what?
Yeah. They're saying XRP could hit like $2 to $3 by
Wow.
the end of the year.
That's pretty soon.
And get this,
Yeah.
maybe even $27 to $30 by
Yeah.
2032.
Okay, so big gains. That's a lot of optimism right there. What's fueling that?
Well, they really focus on Ripple's success,
Hmm.
outside the U.S. They highlight all the work Ripple's been doing with central banks and financial institutions all over the world.
I mean, that is interesting. Central banks even looking at blockchain technology, that's a pretty big shift. It seems like they're maybe moving away from this idea of having their own like central bank digital currencies, the CBDCs,
Yeah.
and thinking more about these stable coins that are built on platforms, like
Right.
XRP.
So, like, instead of each country creating its own digital coin, they might just adopt stablecoins built on blockchains that already exist.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, sort of outsourcing their digital currency infrastructure in a way.
Wow. Okay, but for those who aren't super familiar with all the ins and outs of crypto, what makes stablecoins so appealing, especially to, like, central banks?
Yeah. I mean, basically, stablecoins are designed to stay stable. They're usually pegged to a traditional asset like the US dollar,
Right.
which makes them way more practical for, day-to-day transactions, global payments, that
Mhm.
kind of thing. Unlike Bitcoin, which, as we all know, can go up and down, crazy.
Yes.
Stablecoins give you that predictability that central banks and businesses are really looking for.
Okay, that makes sense. So it sounds like XRP is being positioned as like the underlying tech, the rails, that
Mhm.
these stablecoins could use to move quickly and efficiently across borders.
Exactly. And that's where it gets, even more interesting because this video really highlights SBI Holdings, which is this Japanese financial giant,
What?
and their massive XRP purchases. It's not just how much they're investing, but what it all means.
Yeah, it's a big vote of confidence from the traditional finance world, right?
Totally. When someone like SBI Holdings makes a move like that, it's like a shock wave through the market. It makes you think they see something big on the horizon, some long-term value,
Right.
not just some quick, speculation.
This is where things get even crazier. The video talks about a shrinking XRP supply. Apparently, like every time there's a transaction, a tiny bit of XRP gets destroyed or burned, they call it.
Yeah, the burn mechanism. It all comes down to scarcity. Think of it like a limited edition piece of art. The fewer there are, the more valuable each one becomes,
Oh, right,
at
right.
least in theory.
And they say if more institutions start using these XRP-based stablecoins, that transaction volume and the burn rate with it could go way up.
Yeah. Yeah, which would lead to
Huge price increases.
potentially, yeah.
But we got to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
Predicting the future of crypto is a bit of a gamble. And there are those regulatory hurdles, of course. The video's not shy about criticizing Gary Gensler, the SEC chair, and his stance on crypto. They make it seem like if he were to leave, that could be a big turning point for XRP.
Yeah, regulation is always the big unknown, right? It's important to remember what the SEC actually does. They're there to regulate securities investments, basically.
Yeah.
So the question is, are these cryptocurrencies like XRP actually considered securities?
Right.
It's a debate that's been going on forever, it seems like.
Yeah.
And it really determines how XRP can be traded, used, and ultimately, how much it can grow.
So while Ripple's out there making deals and building this global network, the SEC could shut the whole thing down if they decide XRP is a security.
Yeah, like the lack of clarity has a huge impact on the whole crypto world.
That's this clash of the titans, this unstoppable force of innovation versus the immovable object of regulation.
That's a great way to put it. And yeah, whatever happens will have major consequences for XRP and maybe the entire financial system, really.
And it gets even wilder.
Oh.
The video claims that a big chunk of the XRP being sold right now isn't even going to exchanges. It's going straight to banks and institutions, like under the radar.
Really? That's interesting.
They're saying demand for XRP from within the traditional financial system is way stronger than most people realize.
So it's like this hidden market.
Like a silent revolution brewing.
It would definitely explain some of the excitement around XRP, even with all the regulatory uncertainty.
Yeah. But we have to be careful, right? We can't just take one source as gospel.
Right. We need to look into this more.
Maybe dig into some more research on this whole institutional XRP activity thing.
Yeah, it would definitely add another layer to our understanding.
Okay, so to recap, Ripple's making big moves globally. Central banks are intrigued. There's this burn mechanism that could send prices skyrocketing. And now maybe there's a secret market of institutions buying up XRP. But the big question mark, of course, is how regulators will react.
Yeah, like the wild card in all of this. It's such an interesting combination of factors, though. Definitely a story worth watching.
Absolutely. Let's unpack all this a bit more.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more of this deep dive into XRP and the future of finance.
Sounds good. So before we were talking about all this XRP going straight to institutions, this hidden market.
Right.
It makes you wonder why they're not being more public about it. If banks are so bullish on XRP, why all the secrecy?
Yeah, why so quiet?
Well, maybe they're just being careful, not wanting to rock the boat with regulators or draw too much attention. The regulatory landscape for crypto is still pretty uncertain.
Yeah.
And these big institutions tend to avoid risk, let's say.
Makes sense. So they're sort of testing the waters, waiting for clear guidelines from the SEC before going all in.
Exactly. Plus, the traditional financial system is like a giant ship. It takes a long time to turn.
Yeah.
Unlike the crypto world, which, changes by the minute.
Right.
So these institutions might be like strategically building up their positions over time.
Okay, so slow and steady wins the race.
A lot of times, yeah.
Right.
Especially with something like blockchain that could, really disrupt things. It's a balancing act between managing risk and getting ready for the future.
It all comes back to that big question. Is XRP really going to explode in value?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
The video we're looking at is definitely in the yes camp. But what makes them so sure?
Well, they point to a bunch of things, right?
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about Ripple's global reach and how central banks might start using these XRP-based stablecoins.
Yeah.
But there's another piece to this puzzle, and that's Ripple's IPO.
Oh, right.
And the fact that they're launching their own stablecoin.
They made it sound like a pretty big deal. Like this stablecoin built on the XRP ledger could change everything. Is that realistic?
I mean, it's definitely worth paying attention to. Remember we were talking about the burn mechanism?
Yeah, where XRP gets destroyed with every transaction.
Right. So imagine a popular stablecoin backed by a company like Ripple running on the XRP ledger. That would mean a ton of transactions and the burn rate would go way up.
Driving the price of XRP through the roof.
Potentially, yeah. The more uses for XRP, the more demand and the more fuel for that burn mechanism, it could really snowball.
So it sounds like the video thinks Ripple's playing the long game here, setting XRP up to be at the heart of this new financial system.
That's the impression I get. And to be fair, they've been building towards this for a while, making partnerships, developing the technology, and navigating the regulatory landscape.
But let's not forget about the risks. We talked about the regulatory uncertainty, but what else could hold XRP back?
Well, some people say XRP is too centralized. Unlike Bitcoin, which is designed to be decentralized, XRP is controlled by, one company, Ripple.
That doesn't sound very crypto, does it?
Yeah.
I thought the whole point was to get away from centralized control.
Yeah, it's a common idea. But decentralization is more like a spectrum than a black and white thing. And while XRP might not be as decentralized as Bitcoin, it has other advantages like speed, scalability, and low transaction costs.
So it's a trade-off.
Kind of, yeah. And in the end, it'll be the market that decides what works best.
It's interesting how all these different things are swirling around XRP, shaping its future, the technology, the market, regulation, and even these philosophical debates about decentralization.
Yeah, it's like a microcosm of the whole crypto world. Always changing, never a dull moment.
Exhilarating and scary at the same time.
Totally. But that's why it's so interesting. We're basically witnessing the birth of a new financial system with all its potential and all its risks.
So, bottom line, is XRP a good investment? Should our listeners run out and buy some right now?
Oh, I can't give financial advice, you know that. It's always important to do your own research, weigh the risks and potential rewards, and make your own decisions.
Okay, fair enough. But bigger picture, what if XRP does become the platform for all these central bank stablecoins? How could that change things?
That's the question, isn't it?
And we'll keep exploring that question
Will it?
as we continue this deep dive into XRP and the future of finance. All right, we're back. Ready to wrap up this deep dive into XRP.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride.
It covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From Ripple's plans for global domination to the burn mechanism and the SEC always lurking in the background.
A lot going on, that's for sure. And it seems like everything's connected.
Yeah.
The technology, the market, the regulations.
Right, even like
Some of that too, yeah.
But even with all that, I keep coming back to this question. What does it all mean for the average person?
Right. Like if XRP really does become this foundation for a new global financial system, what does that actually look like for, everyday life?
Exactly. What changes?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think it's still a bit early to say for sure, but we can try to imagine based on what we know.
Okay, let's do that. Paint me a picture. What does a world powered by XRP look like?
Well, imagine being able to send money to anyone, anywhere in the world instantly for like pennies.
That's pretty appealing. I send money overseas all the time.
Exactly. And it's not just for individuals. Think about businesses and how much easier global trade would be if cross-border payments were simple and cheap.
Yeah, it could transform entire industries.
It really could. And it goes beyond just cost and speed. Think about people who don't have access to banks, billions of them around the world. XRP and blockchain technology, in general,
Mm-hmm.
have the potential to give them access to financial services for the first time.
That's
Yeah. Of course, there are potential downsides, too. We talked about centralization and regulations, and
right.
there's always a chance of some unforeseen tech problem or, security issues.
But the video we were watching, they seem pretty convinced those challenges could be overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like they were preaching the gospel of XRP.
They were definitely believers.
Yeah. And, it's good to be skeptical of any predictions, especially in the crypto world.
Oh, for sure.
But I do think it's important to be open to the idea that things could really change for the better.
Absolutely. I mean, the financial system needs an update, right?
Definitely.
And maybe XRP is the key.
It's a story worth following, that's for sure.
Mm.
So as we finish up, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this deep dive?
I think the biggest lesson here is that the future isn't set in stone. We're building it right now with the choices we make, the technology we develop, and, the ideas we embrace. Whether or not XRP succeeds, the fact that we're having these conversations, asking these questions, it all points to this shift towards a financial system that's more open, transparent, and fair.
That's a great point. So to everyone listening out there, keep learning, keep asking questions, because the future of finance, it's in our hands.
Well said. And who knows, maybe someday we'll look back on this and say, that's where it all started.
You never know. And on that note, we'll wrap things up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of XRP. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.